Welcome back. This is the second edition of Secret of Mana playthrough. And yeah, me and Schizo just sitting here. We tried to do this live, it didn't work, so we're just going to dub over the whole thing all the way through. It's just going to be a lot easier that way. As you can see, I'm getting my ass kicked by Rabbites here. It's kind of humiliating.
Oh, the excitement of deadly cream puffs.
Yeah, this goes on for about 12 minutes. This is a 12-minute long video, and we do make it to the water temple, so that's cool, but I don't make it any further than that time. Now you get to see a boss fight, and I'm kind of going to explain how this all works. On the bottom of the screen there, you'll see a percentage bar that keeps going up. Every time I actually hit something, or even swing my sword at all, it will drop down to 0, and I can't hit for full power until I get back up to 100%. A couple screens here. I think the next screen over, or something like that, my weapon is going to level up, and I'm going to be able to actually charge attack, and I'll kind of show that off too.
Yes, because we just wanted to make this video painfully longer.
The charge attack really doesn't get used a whole lot throughout the game. You're primarily using magic once you get to it, and really just charging when you've got nothing better to do, and you just want to hit something harder. Or if the boss is like a defensive stage, you can charge in while he's doing the defensive part of it, and then take him out a little bit faster.
Oh look, there's 2 of them, as if that's a challenge.
Oh yeah, something I wanted to bring up while I have a chance to, just before this charge attack gets shown off up here. Throughout this game, there are several places where the game is a little bit stacked against you, unless you grind through a lot of kills and gain experience and that kind of stuff. Especially the second boss that will probably be in the 4th video that comes out. He takes a little while to get to. That's going to be one of the points where you will notice, if you're watching my HP and my stats and stuff throughout the game itself, there's going to be a dramatic increase in my stats. I'm not cheating through any of this game. This is a completely legitimate playthrough, except I'm not going to record myself grinding enemies for like 30-40 minutes or something like that. I'm not that entertaining to listen to. I'll be amazed if anyone listens to this in the first place. But I just wanted to kind of explain why that's going to happen that way. It's just going to make the boss fights a lot easier. And this is not a walkthrough LP. This is to see the game, and if we can come up with some interesting dialogue, listen to that too. Alright, so this is Potos Village, your home, for the next 5 minutes. And as you'll see, everyone is real thrilled to see that I'm back. They just missed me so much. And I'm going to show off this sword that I've somehow hidden from them until just now. Didn't realize I had that. And they get all pissy about it. And yeah.
Well, people usually get upset if you whip out your sword in public.
He's gonna make that joke a lot, by the way. Get used to it now. So they blame the monsters attacking on me having pulled out the mana sword. And this fat kid decides that now is an opportune time to start slapping the guy with the sword. Yeah, these people are not that bright.
Big kids are easier to hit.
Alright, so, showing off this kid's brilliance again, he wanders around right over the flower patch. That was... I always thought it was obvious that it was going to cave in, but he runs right over it. And now we fight Mantis Ant, I think is the boss's name.
And this is where the kid wants you to use the sword that everyone is pissed about you having to begin with.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm actually surprised I did fairly well at this fight. The first few playthroughs I did on this, I died on this guy like 5 times each playthrough. I think you're supposed to die once. It takes a lot of rabbite kills to get to the point where you can actually survive this fight without dying. I'm not wasting any of my items. I only have one piece of candy I can use, which is 100 HP that it gives you back. It's not worth using here because, as you can see, I die and I get resurrected.
Infinitely.
Yeah, it never stops. This is the only point in the game where you can freely die. Everywhere else, if you die, and well, your entire party dies, which is just me at this point, it's over. You have to restart. So, yeah, I can't really dodge attacks for the most part. There's just the couple physical attacks I can actually avoid. Other than that, anytime you see a spell come up at the top of the screen there, somebody's taking damage, and nothing you can really do about that. Right there you can see where I actually physically dodged an attack. There is a dodge rating for that in the game, and you really don't have much control over it. You can't modify your stats a whole lot in this game. You just level up and get better stats. You don't really pick your items. You just move on to another town and buy better versions of the same crap you just had. And for the most part, it's all pretty linear until I think one point towards the very end of the game, there gets to be a place where the stuff you need to buy is so expensive, it's not worth getting. It's such a minor increase, and you can just continue on without it. By the time you grind through enough enemies to get enough gold to buy the stuff, you're powerful enough to be without it, and you just use your money on the next set of gear that comes up. I think that's somewhere around the Gold Village. Yeah, so now that I think about it, doing this dubbed over is, I think, going to turn out a lot better than actually going through and live playing it. It's just easier.
At least we can fast forward some of the crap if we want to.
Yeah. Alright, so here's the banishment scene. Sorry to spoil it for you. See, as I think I mentioned in the first video, I don't remember if this was in the final cut that we did or not, but I've always assumed that the main character is about 15 years old. He's just seemed like about that age to me. And an orphan. And this village just decides that you're better off just pissing off and going on your own. They give you 50 gold to survive and say, get the fuck out. And you start off your adventure to save the world.
I always love how he opens chests just by beating on it.
Yeah.
Stop at the item shop.
Yeah, at least it's better than
Talk to the guy that's punching his crotch. And seems really thrilled about it.
yeah. Yeah, merchants in this game, they dance all the time. Innkeepers dance, and they all wear turbans for the most part, except Nico. Nico is a cat merchant who you will first see in the third video, the next one that I do. I should make it to him by the, probably the beginning of that video actually. He's not that far in.
With all the turbans, I'm kind of surprised that America allows this game anymore. Oh look, getting kicked out by Jeff Foxworthy here.
bite here. Now in this playthrough, I'm going to go back up and explain that you can't go back into the village by normal means. If you talk to him, he reminds you that you're banished, and then pushes you out. You have nowhere to go, so you just leave. If you come back later when you actually have your other two party members and you can switch between them, every time you switch to another character, it nudges you up a little bit. If you push yourself up against Jeff Foxworthy, you can push through him and clip beyond that area, and then get back into Potos Village. There's absolutely no reason to go back. Everyone says exactly the same thing, even at the very end of the game, when you're obviously the hero and just about to save the world. But, yeah, I'm not going to do that until way later. I will show off the glitch when I come back near Pandora Village or City or whatever, and kind of point that out. But you need Flammy to get out, or you have to load back to a previous state. And I'm not visibly using save states in this playthrough, just because it's an RPG. You don't need it. I understand it for like playing Kaizo World or something like that, but it's Secret of Mana with no mods or anything. Yeah, I'm not going to cheat through this in any way.
And here you can actually see the world as it's supposed to be, not as a seizure in the first video.
Yeah, the Mode 7 in this game was actually really cool. It was one of the big reasons why I really loved this game when I was younger, because this was 3D graphics back in the day, and it was freaking epic. So, here we have Diluc. He doesn't introduce himself in this area here, but he's on a crusade to go kill a witch, and that comes in a little bit later. We'll introduce him. He's a major character. And right up the top stairs here, I'm going to talk to Gemma, and this is the end of this video.